Hi, this is part 2 of our Excel exercise and buffers. In this exercise, we are going to be creating calibration curves using a weak acid from our list of buffers. You are going to be creating a titration curve two different ways. One way will be using the expressions that you've learned for the three components of your titration curve: the buffering section, the equivalence point, and then when the buffering has stopped. The second way, we're going to be using goal seeker, which will solve the same expression but with only one calculation. So to get started, what I recommend doing is first defining some key variables. So your pKa will be used as a variable. You can go into define name and you can name this variable. So now when you call it, it will call like an absolute value, but it will be against the name pKa. So in your expression, you can just use pKa. You will also need in there your concentration of your HA or your weak acid that you're starting with. So I'm going to name this one HA initial. You're going to need your amount that you are going to titrate with. And I'm going to call this my V HA initial. And you will also need the concentration of your base that you will be using to titrate. My name. To set it up, you will be titrating with your NaOH, so you will be tracking your volume. That you're adding. You'll add it in milliliters. And you will need to, what you will also be tracking is the moles of OH that you use and the moles of HA that are actually being used up. So with your volume, if you've never tried this, if you start a series, Excel will fill it in. So I started with 1, 2, 3, and it filled in all the way down. We'll go down to 30 or 40. There. Now go ahead and fill in your moles of A and moles of B, and finally your pH. Your pH will depend on where it is in the titration, on the titration curve. So you will have three different equations for your pH depending where the curve is. So go ahead and fill that in and try to create your curve. So this is my calibration curve, or titration curve, sorry. I used 0.1 molar MES and titrated with 3 molar NaOH. The equivalence point you can see is around 17. I believe it's 16.5 milliliters of NaOH added in there. When you look at my data, again, the power of labeling your fields is you can easily see your calculations. So my moles of NaOH are the initial times my volume. And here I have the moles of initial minus then my moles of OH. For my moles of OH, it's my concentration of OH. If I double click here, I can actually see which field I'm pulling from. You can see it's this concentration that I'm pulling from. For my calculations, I'm pulling, my initial one is pulling my pKa, which is this field right here, and my initial concentration of my weak acid. As it goes through the buffering region, it's pulling the pKa value and then looking at my ratio of my moles. The equivalent point, this is where my moles of OH equal my starting moles of HA. And at this equivalent point, you can see the calculation does change. And then it changes for a fourth time as it goes outside of the equivalent point, and now it's fully with OH with it. So hopefully yours looks like this. If not, pause and keep working, and then we will start exercise number 2. So the second part of this exercise, we will use a function called goal seek on Excel. And we're going to be using the master equation for titration. By using the master equation, we don't have to put 4 different equations in like we did with our first titration curve. It will automatically calculate each of those different permutations that the titration curve goes through. So with that said, let's talk about how we're going to do it. You will be setting up a table where I copied over the volume of my NaOH added in milliliters. You will calculate the concentration of your sodium ions that you have in solution, your total concentration of your A species. So of your weak buffer HA, it's your HA plus your A minus. For your initial value of hydrogen ions, assume the value of 1 times 10 to the negative 8th. pH, go ahead and put that equation in. For the right-hand side of the equation, what goal seeker will do is when you put in a value for H+, you're putting in this value in this equation. It is then going to solve for the right-hand side of the equation. So what you're putting here is that right-hand side of the equation. The last column is your right over left. When these two values, the right and left side, are equal, that ratio will be 1. So what GoalSeek does is, given a value that you put in for, in this case we're putting the value for our hydrogen ion, it will calculate the right-hand side. And it will look at the ratio of the right to left side. And if that equals 1, it knows it has the solution. If not, it will adjust the value of your hydrogen ion, recalculate, and it will continue to do that iteration until it merges on the value where the right and left equal 1. So I've set mine up already to begin with. Let's use GoalSeek here. It's under Data. I go to Tools and GoalSeek. So I want to set this cell, so my right left cell, I'm going to set it equal to 1. That's the value I want it to converge at. And it's going to do that by changing my hydrogen ion cell. And when I do that, I watch my right, it's adjusting my H+. You can see my right-hand side adjusting, and it stops when it merges on the value where your right-left side is equal to 1. And it gives me my pH. So my pH here is 3.55. Let's check it based on what I calculated on the other side, and it's exactly the same value. I can continue to do this. It's a little bit manual. Again, goal seek. I want to set this value equal to 1, and I'm going to do it by changing my hydrogen plus. And again, it iterates through until it converges onto 1. And I can see at 1 milliliters, my pH now is equal to 4.6. A little bit different than this. I wonder what's going on there. But it should be the same. I'll adjust that in. Oh, no, 4.9. So it's exactly the same, 4.9 here and 4.9 there. So go ahead, pause it, and set it up. At the end, you should have a titration curve that looks exactly like the one that you created manually. What you will find is as you get closer to the value, if I take this one, take my pH down, I know it should be around 1. Use goal seeker. And I'm changing this one. It was able to find a solution there. If it does not find a solution, let me try one more. Come on. As you can see, it's not finding a solution. It will go through 500 iterations and see if it found one. And in this case, it wasn't able to merge on 1. When you see that happen, go ahead and change your initial guess to something like 10 to the 13th, and then retry it. It does have to have a semi-close value. So in this case, it was able to merge down to 10 to the negative 12th. So have fun with this. The only thing with Goal Seeker is you do have to do it for every cell. If any of you are proficient at macros, this would be a great use for a macro. But for now, go ahead, create your new titration curve using Goal Seek as a methodology for it. Take care.